Hello beautiful creatures, welcome back to my channel Phyrra. If you're new here, my name's Cordelia and I love to talk about colorful alternative makeup, alternative fashion, mental health, and more. So if these are things that you're interested in talking about, please be sure to hit that little subscribe button down below and don't forget to ring that bell so you never miss whenever I upload a video. Right now I upload videos on Saturdays and Sundays and I try to upload as many videos during the week as I possibly can. So today's video is going to be on the new Urban Decay Chill Happy Palette. Urban Decay sent me this palette in PR. However, this is a palette I absolutely would have purchased. This is one of the two new palettes that Urban Decay has released that I have been excited about. And it's been quite a while since I've been excited about Urban Decay's eyeshadows. So check out this cool packaging. It's very happy and fun. Here are the eyeshadow colors up close. Fire, Brainwave, Upper, Happy Trat, Modern Mystic, and Paz. I personally am in love with this color story. It is awesome. These are all colors that I love to wear. If you look through my tutorials, you'll notice I have a lot of red tutorials, purple tutorials, even some pinks. So I'm going to go ahead and insert swatches for you of this palette so you can see what it looks like on my skin. We have Paz, which is an ivory with a satin finish. We have Modern Mystic, which is a coral pink matte. We have Upper, which is a magenta pink metallic. We have Brainwave, which is a black-based purple with purple pearlescent finish. It's gorgeous. We have Happy Trap, which is described as an ivory pink with a shimmer finish, but to me this color looks more like an ivory with a multicolor shimmer. And then we have Fire, which is a red metallic with multicolored shimmer. I love these colors. Don't you think these swatches look awesome? So this Urban Decay eyeshadow formula is different from the one that I fell in love with in 2012, but it's also different from the formula of the past couple years that I just haven't really been that impressed with. I found these eyeshadows to be very easy for me to work with. They are very, very pretty, very impactful. I didn't really experience a lot of fallout. Like, I don't think I had any fallout really from the eyeshadow itself. However, when I went to remove it, all of the little micro shimmers, I definitely ended up with like some micro shimmers on my face, but that's pretty much easy to clean up with a makeup eraser. So this new eyeshadow palette from Urban Decay is about $33, and that breaks down to about, I think, $5.50 per eyeshadow since there are 6. I think that is a pretty good value for a little palette, especially considering that an individual Urban Decay eyeshadow now costs like, I don't know, $21 or $22. I definitely know it's more than 18 these days. So I feel like that's a pretty good value if you love these colors. Let's talk about the color story for a minute. I am in love with the color story. I love to wear reds and purples and even pinks, and sometimes on occasion a little bit of like creamy beige. I like creamy beige on the lid with like a burgundy wine color. I think this is a very fun color story. I don't know that I would have originally chosen Modern Mystic for the one of the mattes, but I do find it a fun color to work with. It definitely helps to keep the my looks lighter and brighter, so I really appreciate that. And it's easy to tone down Modern Mystic with the color Paz, which is like this creamy beige. So it's great for erasing mistakes and helping to blend things out. So I feel like this is an excellent color story. I'm having a lot of fun with this palette. I would absolutely travel with this palette. So the Urban Decay Chill Happy color story is absolutely a color story that I would use as a travel palette as well as an everyday palette. To give you an example, I have taken the Urban Decay Aphrodisiac palette on my trip to Scotland, which I loved. Like, this is another color story that worked for me because I had lots of burgundies and I had a couple creams. So I am definitely a fan of Urban Decay's smaller palettes, and I especially this color story does make me so happy. I think it is a great color story. All right, so now let's jump into the demo portion of this video, where you can see me put together several different eyeshadow looks for hooded eyes. I'm going to use a Goss 5 brush, but like a small tight pencil brush would be great. And this color called Brainwave, which is like a black-based purple with lots of purple shimmer. And I'm going to be creating an arch at the inner part of my eye. I'm going to take a short angled brush with the same color Brainwave and just extend the shape out a little bit. Back to the Goss 5 brush, I'm going to apply this at the outer 1/4 of my lower lid and draw my wing pretty much straight out so that I can compensate for the excess skin that I have at the outer corner of my eye. I'm also going to put this up at the upper lash line just a little bit. to connect the two and draw it out. I'm going to use NYX Cosmetics 125 Smoky Liner Brush and the color Fire, and I'm placing this under the arch of the purple. I'm bringing it down in a little bit, and then I'm just going to continue it along the arch of the purple here. And I'm going to take the same color Fire and drag it along the top. I'm going to take another NYX Cosmetics 125 brush and the beautiful sparkly pink here called Upper. I'm using Upper along the inner lower lid, inner V of my eye. I'm connecting it up to the arch over here. I'm going to take it just at the tail of the color right here. I'm going to use a Q-tip to shape, because that's what I like to do. I'm going to take the color Paz and this E20 brush from Sigma. Right, it says E20? Yeah, it's an E20. It's a short shader. And I'm just going to go blend around the outside of the color. This is a great eraser color for helping you make sure that your transition is smooth. I'm going to take the color right here, Happy Trap, which is like a sparkly beige. And I'm putting that in between all of the other colors. I did use Urban Decay's All Nighter spray on my brush to make the color damp and more intense. I'm so impressed by how these colors performed. I'm so excited by them. And now to finish this look, I would obviously add mascara, put something on my waterline, probably tightline my eyes, but because this is an eyeshadow demo, I'm gonna go ahead and take it off and do another eyeshadow look for you. So for that first eyeshadow demo, I used every single color except for Modern Mystic, which is this peachy color right here, like a peachy orange. So I'm going to create a soft look with this. This is the sort of look that I feel like I see a lot of women on TV wearing when they're wearing like no makeup or minimal makeup. I'm going to take this Modern Mystic color in the Sigma E27. If you don't have a Sigma E27, it's a brush that's basically flat one way and it's kind of rounded, and you can flip it like this or like this, and I think it's really great for hooded eyes like mine. So loaded up the brush, tapped off the excess, and I'm going to pop this into the socket of my eye, the crease of my eye. So this is where like all of my excess skin is and why you don't really see much of my mobile lid. And I'm going to start working it while it's flat like this, back and forth through my crease, just working on going like this until I get enough color that it feels like I have a little bit of color here in the socket, and you can kind of see just a tiny little bit when it's open. Then I flip it like this so it's horizontal now, and I stick it right back into the socket of my eye. I don't add any more product, and I continue to blend it back and forth, working it in little circles as I go through that socket. Going to use this along my lower lid as well, and I'm going to drag it out into a little bit of like a wing, even though we're not really, we're basically only going to create a shadow wing, because I've seen so many ladies on TV with this look, and I decided why not. It's interesting to me. It's better than like a standard just no makeup look. I'm also putting a little bit of Modern Mystic at the outer corner of my lid. Now that I have that shape vaguely in place, I'm going to take the color Paz, which is this creamy ivory, and I'm going to take a Sigma E25, just a slightly larger version, and I'm going to start blending at the edges of Modern Mystic. And if you find it's just a little bit too bright or not exactly to your liking, you can always mix Paz on top to lighten it. I'm going to take this color right here, Happy Trap, and this is a Sigma E54 medium sweeper, and I'm just going to put this under the lid. Now obviously I think that this will look better if I put some mascara on, but like I mentioned before, because I'm doing eyeshadow demos, I'm not going to put mascara on until the last look. So here is our just kind of neutral. For the next look, I'm going to start with the Urban Decay Vice pencil, but any sort of purple eyeliner pencil will be great. And I'm going to outline my eye, creating a solid cat eye shape. So I'm going along my lower lid, And because I have hooded eyes, I draw my cat eyes from the bottom to make my shape look better. It helps with all of the excess skin I have here, because my excess skin here, if I'm looking at you straight on, it will cause this to curve and arch down. Now to do the top part, I'm basically going to fit this pencil just above the socket of my eye. So it's going to just be barely visible when my eye is open. So you can see there's my little outline that I'm going to use. And I'm taking this Sydney Grace brush. It's kind of like a wider flat domed sort of brush, but I'm going to use it to pack Brainwave dry onto my lid. What I specifically like about this shape of brush for this look is that after I get all of the color onto my lid, I can go back and blend with it. I have like nice control over color placement, but I can go through the crease in sort of like a windshield wiper motion, like the socket of my eye, and just smooth out that rounded top part. Do it along the wing, and I'm going to correct the wing shape once I'm happy with it with a Q-tip, because that's how I like to do it. I know it can be very difficult to apply wings and cat eyes, stuff like this on hooded eyes, but this is one of the ways that I have found that works really well for me, and I think it looks nice. Back with Pause, which is that creamy shade, and I'm using a Sigma E20, so very similar shape to what I was actually just applying with, and I'm just blending along the edges. This eyeshadow shape is actually one that I do a lot if I'm just going to do like a colored base and then put a multi-chrome on top. Taking an angled brush with a little bit more of the purple Brainwave, and I'm just going to sort of sharpen up this wing out here before I hit it with a Q-tip to make it even sharper. The last thing I'm going to do is put a little highlight at the inner corner with Upper. It's the bright pink shade. All right, so let me zoom in so you can see this look up close. This is a fun look to me for a night out, if you want to feel fierce, because I love how like the shadow wing cat eyeliner feels and looks. I feel like it makes me look rarer. For this look, we're going to start with Fire, and I'm using an IT Cosmetics smoky liner brush, and I'm starting to just create like color at the inner part of my eye. I'm going to try to create a halo eye. Because I have hooded eyes and a lot of excess skin at the outer corner of my eye, whenever I am applying eyeshadow, I always think about how to shape that, because I have all this excess skin, and if I don't think about it, it will distort the look. And I'm just barely gonna connect these two up here. I'm doing the lower lid with Fire. I love red eyeshadow. Red and purple are two of my favorite eyeshadow colors. Also quite fond of green and teal. And I'm taking another IT Cosmetics smoky liner brush, and I'm going to start putting on the pink color. Pink color is called Upper, and I'm putting it inside where I put the red. I really love how easily these shades blend together. I'm going to take my Sigma E27 with a little bit of Modern Mystic, and I'm just very lightly going over the edges. I wasn't sure how I would feel about Modern Mystic as the only like deeper than skin tone matte, but I think I really like it. It's not a color I would necessarily have picked out for myself because it does lean a little more orange than peach, but I do love peach shades and often find them a lot of fun to work with. Going back with the red Fire and a little bit of Urban Decay's All Nighter spray. I'm taking the color Brainwave, which is the beautiful purple, and I'm going to start blending this along the lower lid, and I'm going to use it to go up here at the inner V to add some depth, and then also at the outer V. I'm going to take a Cosette S185, which is very similar to a Sigma E36, and I'm going to take that same purple color Brainwave. Again, I'm going in at the inner V, and I'm basically just keeping into the socket of the eye right there. I'm going to do the same at the outer part of the eye, as use the socket as my guide. I'm going to take Carla Cosmetics Drama Queen, which is this beautiful opal moonstone multi-chrome color. And it has like hot pink and gold and orange. And I'm taking Drama Queen on this small little Urban Decay brush and tapping it onto the center of this eye. I like to use it damp with a little bit of Urban Decay's All-Nighter Spray. Going back with just a bit more of upper on either side of where I put Drama Queen. Now that I have the eyeshadow on, I'm going to show you how I tightline my eyes. I don't normally do this, but I had a request for it. So normally what I do is I'll take my Nabla Cupid's arrow and I'll put it along my lower lid. Or sorry, lower waterline. And I love this pencil because it's super creamy. Then I like to take a bent eyeliner brush like this to tightline the upper waterline. I have very sensitive eyes and I blink a lot when I'm doing this. But getting right in at the roots of the lashes gives someone with hooded eyes more visible lid space if they have a little bit, and if they don't, well, it makes the most of whatever they have. Alright, so I just curled my lashes and I added mascara. I used the Thrive Cosmetics mascara. So let me zoom in so you can see this finished look up close. This is the one I'm most excited about. As you can see from the wide variety of looks I was able to put together, this palette really does have some of my favorite eyeshadow colors to work with, such as the red and the purple and the pink. I love that I was able to make this matte work for me. I feel like it's really easy to create a daytime appropriate look if you're looking for something like very minimal with these two colors and maybe a little bit of sparkle from this. But I love that this also can bring the drama with these three colors right here. And I'm especially happy with this look that I put together. I really like all of the looks I put together, but I especially love this one. I'm very pleased with the performance of the eyeshadows. Really happy with them. So this palette is, I believe this palette is $33 and it's already live. If you order it from Ulta, you can use Ulta points. If you order it from Urban Decay, I think you can get a free like eyeliner pencil with it. So depends on which way you want to go. But I am very happy with this palette. As I mentioned, I would have purchased this for myself. I was planning on purchasing this for myself when I received it in PR. So I'm very grateful for Urban Decay for sending it to me. Thank you. What do you think of this Urban Decay Chill Happy Palette? Do you love the cool little packaging? Do you love the color story? What about the looks I put together? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Also, let me know how you like this style of video. I really would like some feedback because I'm not doing as many reviews like I'd stated. What are your thoughts on the Urban Decay Chill Happy Palette? Are you going to pick it up? How do you feel about the color story? What do you think about the latest offerings from Urban Decay? Let me know. Thank you so much for watching, beautiful creatures. I love you and I'll see you next time. Bye.